Yo, this wrong your favorite rapper, and I got my sis in the building.
Your girl Asia Sparks. I love y'all so much. We up in here. I'm excited to be here. I'm happy. Let's get into it.
Man, she highly favored, man. Listen, sis, you know the first time I started this podcast, it was online during COVID. And you was one of the guests on there, and you blessed me highly. You really in my partake on your career. You've been one of Philadelphia's angels to me in the rap scene. So just my community, can you speed them up on how you started, when you got in the game, and how long you've been doing it?
Of course. I think you're giving me too much credit. Like,
no, I'm dead serious.
The only reason why I say is because I feel like we all got that angel in us. We just gotta tap into it. We all got the angel, but it's just like, what you the angel of? Are you the angel of light, or are you the angel of darkness? Or do you believe that you're the angel of light and your actions don't show that you're the angel of light? You showing that you're the angel of darkness? You know, it's a fine line, and that's all about self-discovery. So for me, you know, back in the day, you know, I used to do ciphers, hip hop awards. You know, we was outside on South Street rapping, spitting, networking, and then I did. I was blessed to put out a Sparkle Girl Cypher, my first video. The streets went behind it crazy. I had merch selling out. Amazing. And then 50 Cent had reposted it. And
shout out to Fifth.
After maybe 6 hours of me dropping it, 50 had put it out there.
6 hours?
Like at least 6 hours, yeah.
That's when you know that was heating up, too.
It was an unexpected blessing. It was an unexpected blessing. And so because I seen the unexpected blessing and what was going on, and I think not only that, but you know, when you prepare and preparation, like things happen like that.
Yeah, especially when you blessed. Like I said, you highly favored. So just like I said, the passion you put into your music, man, 6 hours ain't even. I mean, damn. You got to figure out, people don't even get phone calls in 6 hours. You can't get the cops to pull up to the block, your ambulance. So, you know, just to put a song out and it actually go viral in 6 hours, that's fly.
I think
that's fly.
I think when you pray for something, I think that's a part of having faith.
Right.
When you pray for something, you got to believe it too. It's not enough to have faith. A lot of people say they got faith, but they don't even know how to use it. They don't even
see it. They speak it, but they don't actually, like you said, highlight they self in it. They may tell somebody else, "Oh, have faith," but the whole time is you walking in yours.
And at the time, I really felt like it was a matter. I believed that good things can happen to me, but did I necessarily believe that it was going to be as big as it was? No, I didn't.
I know you.
But I believed in myself.
Right.
I believed in myself even when I couldn't see it, even when I didn't know what I was doing. I just believed in myself. I knew that I was destined for something great.
That confidence is. Oof.
I don't even know. At the time, it was more so of a false confidence.
Okay.
I think I was going up. I think at the time, the world was just heavy on my heart.
Right.
And I think when people be like, "Oh, you rap the way you rap so aggressive," but in person, you so kind.
Right.
And I think that was just the way that I expressed myself. I feel like if any person, any man, any woman that's not bound to learn how to express themselves or get those feelings out, I think us as Black people, we don't know how to necessarily express ourselves.
Right.
Or men don't seek therapy as much as they should.
No,
women,
true that.
We have a pride about us where we don't want to admit that we're in the wrong. Accountability. So when you don't know a way to express yourself, but for me, I was expressing myself in the secret place.
Right.
When I was in prayer, and then I got out of prayer, and I would get visions and words, and this is like a lot of people like, how do you rap the way you rap? I say I rap the way I rap because I rap the way I rap because it's not from me.
Right.
I keep telling everybody that it's not from my flesh, it's from my spirit. And I wish I could help you figure out how to rap like me. But
there's only one you.
There's only one you, and everybody called for a different anointing. Everybody's called for a different gift. I can't do hair like the next person, like your daughter. Do hair.
Exactly.
I can't do hair like people. I can do my own hair, but when it comes to expressing that through other people,
you can't do it.
I know
you can't do it, and that's a great thing. Yeah. That's not to cut you off. That's a great thing because that's what I for a long time, even just coming up in my livelihood, my 45 years on this earth, I used to tell people, you just stop worrying about what you fail in. Okay, you failed in that. But then it's something that you do good. Home in on that. You ever notice people, like when we was coming up, it seemed like we always just kept stumbling on the failure parts. And it seemed like through social media, you kind of still see that trend going through the waves of just people, just everything got to be a downfall. Even if you showing people you climbing, they like, oh, he gonna fall though eventually. She gonna fall, and you like, why are you worrying about? If you're not gonna catch me or put something under there so that I can survive, why are you worrying about the fall? Help me get up, continue to move up. And it's crazy because you've been moving up, and I just wanted to know, how did that, being a female in Philadelphia, how do that feel, like actually seeing yourself go up that ladder in certain situations, like you say, those anointings and those blessings that everybody don't receive?
Okay, so just to respond to what you said about the social media, and then I'm gonna jump into your question.
Okay.
We especially with social media, we're living in a world where we're constantly comparing our lives to others. We're constantly comparing our lives to others. Even sometimes, like when I have my little moments, I remember I used to like not envy people for what they had, but I used to envy people for their happiness. Like, damn, I wish I had the happiness that person had. Just the exuberance of that happiness. This person is smiling, and so, but from every angle, I used to meet people, and their energy used to be so light and so loving, but I was in such a hurt place that I couldn't help but to compare the fact that I was just unhappy. A lot of times we look at what we lack instead of what we have, and then God helped me turn that mindset around.
Throw that out the window, like, look what you have.
Look what you have.
Right.
Everybody is here for a reason, and that's a part of finding your worth and finding your purpose and knowing that you are important.
Wow.
It wasn't the things that other people had; it was the fact that this person is genuinely happy. What did she do to get that happy? And then I realized who it was. It was God. I always knew I had God. I always walked, but see, but the difference was I've always been this way. It was just in the light. In the light, I seemed more confident than when I was in the dark.
Right. And you know what, I was like that too.
What comes to light was always happens in the dark. Polarity.
Yep.
Okay.
Talk to him. Listen, I'm trying to tell you that. This is what I'm gonna keep it. This is what's inspiring. You know, my daughter, behind the camera, and I want her to be inspired. You know, they say if you got a circle around you and you're not inspired by your circle, then you in a cage. Yeah. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle for saying that. Rest in peace too. Yes. Mother's Day is tomorrow, so I'm giving you your flowers early. Happy Mother's Day if you're a mother.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to mom too, and your sisters and all the women that's in your family. You have a nice sized family, and y'all be trucking through. Like, I ain't gonna lie, a bunch of women, and they support Asia. And before you go and answer that question after that, tell a little bit about the community, about the support factor in being out of Philadelphia and with your family.
So the support factor outside of Philly?
Inside of Philly, like just having it, being here.
I feel like, all right, I'm gonna tell a story about Christ. Like, he was like, a prophet is not like, is not respected in his own home. I'm not saying that was my story, but a lot of the times it was a lot of showing and proving, especially in your city. Me and you had a conversation the other day on the phone where we talked about how we'll be at shows and people just stare at you. You know what I mean? But that's just because somebody had said to me in LA, they wanted me to move to LA. And they said, would you rather be a little fish in a big pond, or would you rather be a big fish in a little pond? And then I thought about it. At first I said, I'd rather be the big fish in the little pond. I want to be the big fish. Yeah. But then I realized it's a bigger territory, and it's bigger people to minister to, and it's bigger people that you can impact.
Because you'll be lonely in that small pond. If you're the biggest one in there, ain't nothing else gonna fit.
I'd rather be a little fish in a big pond and work my way up again to the big pond.
There you go.
So, and a lot of that, for me, the support my support comes from all over the world, and I think that's the blessing in it. It used to be like, oh, people in my city, but honestly, I stopped putting the pressure on people.
Right.
People trying to get their own dreams and trying to get to it. And so I'll be feeling like if I can't get your support, or if you don't want to support me, that's fine, because God's sending all the people to support me. Even people that you wouldn't even expect to support you. Like I'm not really impressed on fans and numbers. I'm impressed on the people that I'm supposed to impact. And literally, when you have that mindset, it attracts. It's like the law of attraction.
It really do. It attracts Tony, it's like a broken record. It's like it get overwhelming, but when you really see it, you be like, "It's for me," and you know who sent it. Ain't no human beings. He's sending the human beings, so you know it wasn't no human beings that sent them. You like, hold up. Oh, it's 4 years later. I prayed for this 4 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. So that's when you realize you on your life path. it took a long time for me to realize, like, hold up, for me to get there, I'm on the path. Because as soon as you ever notice when you get off it, you be like, everything be standing still. You be like,
nothing works.
Nothing works.
And then we forget that there's also a blessing in the stillness too. I'd be like, dang, I go to LA, I get more done in a week than I do in a month here. I used to say that, but then I realized, like, when I'm here, I'm supposed to be in my secret place.
Right. Your sanctuary. Yep.
I'm supposed to be tapping in and because this is my home. So if this is my home, this is where I should be. At least try to be grounded at. Because everywhere else out there in the world ain't got no home. I'm like trying to figure out.
But that's why they love us, because that it's like that place know that you're not gonna be there for long. You ever notice when you know you're not gonna be somewhere, like even you just came back, the essence that you brought to that town and what you received from it, the ancestors and all the people that touched that ground, you know what I'm saying? You went out there with your shoes off, you touched the soil. You see what I'm saying? Nature. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. And I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all, when y'all get to that place, y'all gonna understand why her bars and her songs be rolling off the tongue like that. You feel me?
I remember I was having a conversation with somebody. I'm not gonna say the name, but I just got back from Hawaii. I was out there for a minute, but I just got back from Hawaii, and everybody had their phones out. It was like we was there. It was like the last day. We had the club. Now, we've been already here. We've been here for like a week now. Like, I'm like, bro. I was like, everybody stressing about shirt. Clothes looking a mess. I'm like, bro, you don't get too many opportunities to come all the way to Hawaii. Right. When we're in today, Hawaii's in tomorrow. Yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
So we really went back in the past, and life just slowed down. I said, let's take a moment to enjoy. You're not gonna get too many opportunities. How do you know this not your last time that you're gonna be in Hawaii?
Real talk.
Put your phone down and enjoy the moment. Look at these people. They in the club with flip flops on. Like, real rap, they in the club with flip flops because they Samoan, you know what I'm saying?
They dancing with no shoes or nothing.
And they love life, and it's like off the mainland, so it's like offshore.
They not sitting there stuck in no computer. They ain't in no flip phone. They not congested with mechanical deities that they ain't even deities, because they can't go with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's how people look at them now.
Right.
That's how people look at
them. Can't get on the stage. Like, you look off a stage now and see nothing but flat. Like, it's like everybody got a flashlight in front of your face, and it's nothing but cell phones. You like, you told people you paid to come to the show, right? You don't use your phone.
And even if you do decide to use your phone, that's okay too. You going with the times, but then it's also too, like, make sure you take for example, I was getting my car service, randomly. This is how my life works. Getting my car service randomly, and this guy, was like this old white guy, and he was just like, I was watching Family Matters, waiting for my car to be done. And the guy was like, I'm random. This is how my life works. I meet people like this all the time. When I was in Hawaii, I was with Boys to Men. We were in the same hotel, and I actually auditioned. I ain't gonna say too much. Yeah, but literally sang for Boys to Men in the hotel lobby in Hawaii.
Did y'all hear what she said? So we gonna slip. She sung.
Shout out to Nathan Moore.
She sung. She didn't rap.
Yeah.
She sung.
Yep.
So I want y'all to understand that might go over some of y'all heads and slip in there, but yeah, she sung for
ran into Wanye and his wife and his kid, and literally ran into him. Everybody else was doing an excursion. I said, you know what? I want to spend a day in solitude and in rest. And I literally ran.
Look how good this guy. God is amazing.
God is amazing all the time. It's all God.
And it's the world is small. What's the odds of you being there in Philly? You a Philly native, they Philly.
The conversation
could have been anywhere in the world.
And the conversation happened because he had a Roots picnic hat on. And I said, I'm in the elevator. And in Hawaii, everybody be like, aloha. Where y'all from? Because everybody either migrated there. I met people.
Right. Ain't nobody from there.
Same thing as LA. And I'm like, where y'all from? And talking to him, I knew exactly who I was talking to. Oh, we from Philly. I said, I'm from Philly too. He said, what part? I said, 27th Street. Where you from? Captain. I said, oh, you're both from South Philly. That's what's up. Blah, blah, blah. So then, randomly, I'm just like, oh, how long what are y'all in Hawaii for? They like, yeah, the Boys to Men concert. So then I'm like, I'm talking to Boys to Men. I'm like, yo, Boys to Men, they really good, bro. They from my city. They this, that, and the third. Like, I'm literally giving them praises while they out there. I didn't know. They didn't know that I knew who they were.
Right.
And I was out there. I just left the beach. I just went like surfing. I'm just looking regular. They like, oh, she cool. She cool. Well, how long you gonna be here for? We want to invite you to the show. I said, well, I leave in the morning, like 4 in the morning. They're like, all right, blah, blah, blah. So I gave them my social media, And then, long story short, somebody hit me up. I came up to the rooftop for dinner, looking like something totally different. Like, you know how I do, like try to throw it on. And they like, you look different.
That Aries fire.
They said, we got an opportunity. They said they offered me an opportunity just because of my energy earlier. I said, when I left, I said, mahalo, aloha. They like, oh, you was slick with that mahalo, aloha. Like,
because they need that. People don't know you need that solitude. That Joe shit and always being
take a picture.
Yeah, superstar struck and all that. Hey, all that. No, man. Sometimes, man, because at the end of the day, only people they can get that from is another artist because we understand.
And the fact everybody kept asking me, did you take a picture? No. What? You didn't take no picture? No,
I
didn't. They didn't even believe me until I went up to and he said, listen, I got this opportunity I want you to audition for. You look perfect. You said you could sing, right? I said, yes. He said, come back up here in 10 minutes. The group gonna be down there. So I came down there. We sat there. We ate. They got to know me. I rapped generational curses for him.
Wow.
The bar closed. I purchased him a drink. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And because I just appreciated the fact that they were so loving and supportive.
As you should. Listen, that's the vibe. But my daughter on the other end, that's grown up. What I was telling you earlier. Kids, teenagers, adults, grown up. That was a grown up move. Shout out to sis for that because at the end of the day, a lot of people wouldn't carry that like that. They'd have been in it.
It's a lot of grown women that don't do that.
They don't. But that's why I question they grownism. If I want to throw that out there, I'd be like, you might be, it's all right to miss a couple screws and bolts, but in certain situations, you have to know your shit.
Oh, I'm a loose, like my uncle say, my uncle Raheem, loose screws. I'm a loose screw.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a loose screw because anybody be like, oh my goodness, let's Boys the Men out. Can I just take a picture? That's a moment of like, oh, look at it, just take a picture. And for me, I wanted to get to know the person.
And what's crazy is that you say that because I had a running with Boys the Men in Radio City, 2018. Wasn't Wanye, it was the other one. What's his name?
Sean.
Sean.
Okay.
They used to have the little curly hair joint. No, not Sean, not the thin one.
Nathan.
Nathan.
That's
it was
him
his wife.
The first time. Yeah.
I'm in Radio City, but you know what's funny? That's how you know you grew up with a group so long. You think that but I thought I was in the sandbox with the nigga. I went over to
I felt like that too.
I went over to him. What's up, nigga? She said, you took him over. So I was hugging. I said, man, it's been a minute.
It's like
Uncle whole time I'm saying that, I know him. And I'm in my head, my mind going, what school? What playground? I'm like, wow, I feel like this is my brother. He turned around and look, I said, Boys the Men? I said, oh shit. Now I ain't get on no Joe shit, but because he seen me. I'm just like, I know you. I'm a fan, but we grew up so long. It's been over 30, bro. I feel like you're a brother. Like a family. Oh, it was crazy. So I know you playing that like that and me running in there and just shaking hands. Thought he was somebody from the block like I'm. Because he was in his regular form. With his wife, regular button up on, little shorts on.
And they're humans.
Yeah.
They like a good conversation with the next person. Yeah. And I think when you go outside your territory and you going into new places, sometimes I like to talk to people. I mean, shout out to Hawaii. Shout out to y'all because it was just the love that was surrounded and also the love for Christ and the love for God. But most importantly, the love for people. I think one of the lessons that I learned in Hawaii, a lot of lessons, but a lesson that I learned from them was that it's important to be human.
Yes.
Remember your humanity.
For real, you have to.
And I got my Hawaiian name, Kilola.
Hey, so when I go with your sister, I'm gonna be like Kilola.
And the crazy part about it is. And the crazy part about it is like not everybody gets a Hawaiian name. Right. So I just thought it was amazing.
That's dope.
Not everybody will get a Hawaiian name. But it's like around your birthday time, they'll gift you with your Hawaiian name. So I was blessed truly. I found out a lot.
You just showed me some stuff about Aries. Now I know I gotta go out there during our birthday month. Oh, they party.
It's our birthday. It's our birthday. It's our birthday. It's our birthday.
Hey. They out there jamming.
Hey, shut that off. We doing an interview.
listen, that's what's going. It's just Chris cool. I don't know where it's coming from, but is that coming from out the front thing? They jamming out there.
I'm alright. I ain't bothered.
I ain't mad about it either. That's why I'm glad we got the personal mics right here. Yes. It's gonna seem all we gonna get it. But listen.
But to answer your question real fast, what is it like to follow the anointing? Just a couple questions ago. I think it's very scary in a way, fearful, but I don't have a spirit of fear. Right. So it builds courage in you. So it's okay to be afraid. What Will Smith said to Jaden in that movie, he was like, it's okay to be afraid. Right. All that fear.
Yeah, stop you from kind of like living and blossoming out. Like and I tell my daughter this all the time, like you're gonna make mistakes, it's all right. But it's you getting back up, realizing, okay, I can fix that.
And the moment where you do find yourself to find strength and courage is the moment where you see the fear, but you decide to go head forward at it anyway. Like David and Goliath. You don't think that when David was going up against Goliath, he wasn't scared? No, he was scared. That's why David had to run towards Goliath. If he walked towards Goliath, he would have too much time to think about all the things that he couldn't do or coming from a place of lack. Instead, he thought about the God that he served, what was behind him, who was behind him, and what he is able to do because he believed not on himself, but he believed on God.
He believed in. He listened. I tell my daughter this all the time, and I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of use Noah as an example for that. Like nobody built a boat before. God told him to build an ark. He gave him no time, nor a day, no when to finish. He just said, "It's coming, and you're gonna build this and take every animal." So whenever just imagine somebody telling you you're gonna build something you never built before. You got to find wood, everything to put this ark together.
Well, God said that he was going to supply all his needs.
That's what I'm saying. So, but he still had to get up and look. He still had to.
But he gave him the cubics, the direct measurements to it. He also supplied him with all the things that he needed, the hands that he needed. He also he didn't have to worry about. Did you see how big that ark is?
That ark was ridiculous.
Huge. But also, it wasn't like a span of a couple weeks.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was years.
It was years. That's why I say if he ever stopped one time, prime example, bamboo tree. Take a bamboo tree 5 years to grow. If you get discouraged anywhere in there because you don't see nothing sprouting out the ground, you will never be there to see the bamboo tree grow.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know how plants grow randomly, right? Just randomly. This is a God parable, right? When you plant a seed, before the seed grows up, it grows down. It takes root into the ground, and then it grows up. And so I look at all of us like we plant seeds, right? Or we plant seeds, but we are the seeds of God, and we do reap the harvest, right? But for us, it's like sometimes when things looking like they're going bad, we're just growing down, especially if you're doing the right thing, growing down and taking root, especially if you're in God's word, you're taking root in God's word. Careful what seeds plant on you or in you, because you got to be careful that they don't take root. But when, in due time, you got to constantly water yourself, feed yourself the word, feed yourself with praise and worship of God. Remove all the things, but while you're growing, God's going to do this. He's pruning you. He's cutting off the bad roots, the weeds. So it takes time. Like everybody think God's slow. Sometimes God, I wish he could move a little faster. Okay, I'm doing right. But God is doing something that you can't see. So when people see that, sometimes you gotta have earthly explanation for a heavenly thing. So if you growing, taking root, it takes time, multiple seasons for a tree to grow and to cut. And God has to prune the things that are bad. That because we're bound to harvest. Everybody has a harvest on them. Except the promises of Abraham that God gave to us, because we are the descendants of it, is that you'll be blessed for generations and generations to come. So God doesn't give, the devil will give you something quick and say, take it and just remove it from you. But God says, I'm going to give you something to sustain you for a life that your children's children and your children's children and your children's children will be blessed.
That's what we're trying to get most of you people to stop living in the moment and realize that tomorrow is promised through your faith. Through his word.
And through your choices.
We
are in the valley of choices. I keep telling everybody that. We are in the valley of decisions and choices. And that's from the Bible. That's from Joel, I believe. But we are in the valley of decisions. And when I read that the other day, I said, whoo, we are in the valley of decision. When you decide and you face a problem and you decide, okay, am I going to do what's right or I'm going to do what's wrong?
Yep.
Right leads you to the path of life. Wrong leads you to death.
Yep.
Sorry, it does.
All the time.
So it's like, what you gonna choose? You in a valley of decisions. Every moment you wake up, you in a valley of decision. What you doing with your day? Every decision that you make, you're in a valley of decisions. What are you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose something right, or are you gonna choose something wrong? When you dating these people, you got 2 women you involved with, and you know one woman's a woman of God, and the other woman is a skeezer skank and probably married on the side. Which you gonna choose? You gonna choose the valley of decision and decisions of right, or the decisions of wrong? So that's just life, like everything that you do.
Yep. And understand, when you choose that wrong, you become wrong. It's a trifecta.
Sure do.
You choose that right. Even if you slipping, that other partner can make you right in sanctuary and bring you in and say, Lord, protect this person. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, why separation is a hindrance to life. Because even with, like, say me raising my daughter, I tell her every day, once you separate and you start thinking, you're going to think on your own, but I want you to know, think right, not wrong. And it ain't easy. Your flesh going to get you here and there. But at the end of the day, it's that reset button. Reset.
I don't agree with that, though. I'm going to tell you why. I don't agree with that.
Talk to me.
Okay.
Teach me something.
For certain things that you know that, like, it's like flesh, right? Mistake. Some people don't know. But then after a pattern, and you see patterns of certain things, and you see that your life is not excelling or going to where you're going or going to a good place, you got to start taking accountability and blaming yourself for your decisions.
You go. That's what I did. Like, about. Yep.
A lot of that. I think when it comes to marriage, I think that you're right when it comes to marriage. But when it comes to singleness,
right.
You can't. If it's something that you hiding or keeping in the dark, you can't expect you're gonna reap. The concept of the universe is you reap what you sow. And God will give you grace in the midst of your mistake. But if you don't decide to take accountability for your mistake, you're gonna reap that karma.
Yeah, because you basically saying it ain't happening.
You're gonna reap your karma. And so everything, but then you can't. But also, God is like a God, like, He sees everything. No matter what you keeping from other people or not, God sees everything.
Everything.
And also, you got to decide what you want to deal with, what you want to sign up for. And I'm gonna tell you that right there, right now. I this side note, like, not my personal business, but I'm not signing up for that.
We ain't signing
up.
I
did the work.
None of that.
But one thing I will do, I will pray for you.
I
will pray for you. I will wish you the absolute best and not pray against you. I will intercede for you in my moments where my spirit is calling me to. But also, sometimes you gotta watch your proximity to people. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. Listen, you gotta watch your proximity, because a lot of people been building up a lot of bad karma. So at some point, like, people be messing with marriage, all that. I don't want to stand. If you're not my husband, I'm only, the wife sanctifies the husband, and the husband sanctifies the wife. I can only cleanse you if me, you, and God made a covenant. But if me and you are just together in a relationship, and you decide to go ahead and be a dog and thinking that the person ain't gonna find out, and God commands you to get away from somebody, you better listen, because when God strikes that lightning of judgment, because everybody will be judged, the righteous will be judged and the unrighteous will be judged. So when God strikes that lightning, let me not be in close proximity.
I don't want to be nowhere
because I chose to be around somebody who I knew wasn't fully for God.
And every time I went past, look, and I'm gonna tell you, every time I went past the Lord and thought I could physically do it, He set me right on my back pockets and said, "Oh, you thought you could do my job? You don't know these people, do you?" I thought I did. He said, "Oh, let me remind you that they changing every day. Talk is cheap. They said what they said yesterday, but you didn't know they was plotting on you yesterday and today."
Yes.
So it's I'm glad you said that.
But God got His people.
All the time.
God got His people.
Yep. All the time.
But you also gotta have that discernment.
You do.
You also
you do.
You got to learn how to, like, get into that secret place, because that's where the truth is revealed.
There you go. You get secret place, that quiet place that you have to have you have to sustain a longevity of life. That's like a backpack. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need it because you're gonna have your highs and lows. But I'm gonna tell you like this, I promise you, when that joy do come, like I said, when you was at Hawaii, when that joy, like you told your people, when that joy do come, it's something to remember for a lifetime.
Yes.
If you suck it in for the right reasons.
Yes. Absolutely.
You looked at amazing out there. You was doing your thing. Like it's just you could see that God wanted you to go to a different place and just let you know He with you everywhere you go. Even though I know you know that. It's just the fact that, like you said, you bringing something to some other people as well, getting other people to share that because everybody can't see it. A lot of times we be going through things, they be like, huh, what? You be like, oh man, they ain't even saying it to them. They ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So you need that some certain people to be able to say, you seen, we made it. He's taking care of us. We go other places and don't spend half of the money we spend in our own town. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's sure. Ridiculous, man.
I think, but also I think I don't know why people look at me and act like those things ain't unattainable. Like you say, you go to work, you got a 9 to 5, you save 2 of your checks, you got a trip to Hawaii.
There you go. There you go.
Like, you know, and I think the fear, I remember I was supposed to go to London and Paris April, my birthday.
Okay.
But I ended up, there was like I wanted to go so bad. I felt like I was going ahead and pushing to get there.
Right.
But God was like, hold on, I got a time and a place for you. Right. And so, but when that happened, the like everybody was like a travel advisory. They advised us not to go. It was all this stuff going on with the tariffs and everything.
Yeah, the tariff.
And I was like kind of upset because I couldn't go to London and Paris. But then I realized, like, you know, a lot of people was sowing fear on me. Like they were sowing fear, like, oh yeah, the planes is going down and this, that, and the third. And yeah, like when I went to Hawaii, I could have had that mindset of fear and everything could have rippled into something worse. But then
right? That's like saying God don't exist now when you go into that.
But yeah, I mean,
I know you know He did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Sure. You did. It's the same way with COVID, right? COVID came in and everybody like, I'm like, God ain't telling me to take no shots. They was looking at me like, I said, until the Most High kicked in and had me like really worried about me and my child on that level. Like I feel like they about to quarantine the whole world, bro. I'm like, I'm not. It's nothing wrong with me and my child. I really take pills. I don't like popping. I got a crazy Adams. I don't like taking pills. I don't really do medicine. I don't do none of that. Like I just all natural. Cause grandma raised me like that. Like she raised me off the NyQuil and the salt in the water and get the snot out. And she just was so old school woman with the remedies. So it's just like I don't know. She instilled it in me, and I just kept it going. And me and my daughter just been the healthiest. She's healthy. I'm healthy. For 45, she's healthy to be 15. And but I also put that on my faith and my care and my relationship with the Lord. It's Jesus tatted on my arm. You know what I'm saying? I got this tattoo at 19, so it's like don't know what he looked like, but I just knew that I wanted to cover myself in his sanctuary, in his aura, and just understand like, okay, I'm not doing this by myself. So before I ever get lost out here, know that it's help. It's always been help there. I just gotta go to him. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I've been trying to teach my daughter. Like, it's okay, Daddy not gonna be here forever, but you got a heavenly Father.
Amen.
And
Amen. I think I love calling on my Father. I love calling on my Father. I think one thing I realized, like when I started to take my walk and my discipleship, I realized that the way I was taught to love was from a place of dysfunction. This is just speaking for me. I can't speak for nobody. I'm just speaking for me. The way I was taught to love was from a place of dysfunction. Until I got into the presence of God, until I got into His Word, I started to realize that God has a personality.
Yeah.
I started to realize that God, He loves you, but He chastises the ones that He loves.
As He
so
does.
If you look at your life and you wonder why things like people don't gravitate or people don't like you or why things just don't work out right for your life, you start to realize that God chastises the ones that He loves and He corrects those errors. God is not a God, like that's why I like God. I don't like a yes friend. I like
me too.
I like somebody that speaks the
truth. And gonna let me know you could do better. Because I look at everything that's coming at me, it's to make me better. So I'm looking like as soon as it come at me, say if I did something, you said, bro, I'm going to stop because I know whatever you saw, I might not even seen it. But I might be looking in your eyes and you're like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm not going to second guess your eyes. I'm going to go, all right. Whatever. I'm just going, even if I got to just quiet, sit it down for a second and be like, and then you be like, you ain't realize what you was doing over there? You understand what I'm saying? I'm that type of person.
I feel like people know the people that they dealing with. I be feeling that. Even if they don't, I know that's wild, but even if they don't want to admit it, like you know the person you dealing with. You know. Everybody knows. I don't know the person I'm dealing with, whether I decide to ignore it or not, whether I decide to overlook it, whether I decide to accept it. You know the people that you're dealing with. You know, God knows everything about it. He want that relationship is honest and genuine. He know everything about us. And I'm like, in learning that about God, it made me learn that about myself. Like I know when somebody come to me with a story, and I'm like, oh, she over exaggerating something. She done blew that whole thing up.
That thing was this.
And somebody coming at you, they don't even know you, and they don't like you. And but you know but the people, their friends know who they dealing with. You know what I mean? Like everybody know, you know when you got that one. I wouldn't even call it a friend. I call it. You know when you got that one friend that's a hater, but you just for some reason she ain't hating on you yet, but you know you just got that one friend that's a hater. You know you do.
And you be walking around like, long as she don't do it to me.
Long as she don't do it to me, because I show more loyalty, so this person will never do that to me. And I'm not saying that person would. But you gotta be careful because you know the person you're dealing with.
Right.
You know when you got somebody when you got a friend that's a narcissist, a complete narcissist, don't care about nobody but themselves.
Wow.
You know those type of people. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't affect you because how I feel. I mean, it does though. It does.
Me too. I got a couple of them in my life. Like they be trying to, man.
But then I gotta remember that, you know what? I got to mind my business because that's the problem. We're not minding our own business.
That's why I just like
mind your business.
That's why I ain't picking them. And it's crazy because sometimes we pick up them phones knowing what type of time they on already. We let the narcissistic say something.
You don't even want to answer.
I don't even want to answer. I just be like, oh, what they? Because the funny part be, the last conversation. This is the thing about the narcissistic. They'd call you like they ain't even had that stupid ass conversation they had a minute ago with you. Like you done forgot.
You can have proof, and they still won't
be like, oh, and that was just that move. That's why you still on that? You be like, did you hear what you said, bro? Like, what you mean to my stuff?
People.
Did you change? Did you change that? Well, no, I'm still my whole point, nigga. That's my whole point.
Ain't changed out of it.
Ain't changed one bit. And then when you tell them that, they started right back up. I see this motherfucker. I didn't want to call you. You still on that? And then they tell you the next.
Because you won't accept that behavior anymore.
Damn.
And that'll literally drain you. When somebody lies to you, it ain't gonna kill me. Because what don't kill me?
I'm letting
it know for them. It ain't gonna kill me.
It ain't gonna kill me.
Because I feel like no matter what came up against me, it always failed. You can, if you lead with a pure and genuine heart, and when you are truly a God-centered, chosen one, an anointed, God said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
No harm.
All fake prophets, I don't even claim myself to be a prophet, but I get the
word. I get
But if you think that you're gonna lead with manipulation, lie tactics, doing people dirty, having somebody have true intentions for you with a good heart, and you don't think that God is going to step in, you are sadly mistaken about the Lord. Especially when somebody had nothing but good intentions for you. But in the midst of that, you still, us chosen people, have to have forgiveness, and I mean that with my whole. This is why God continues to bless me, because no matter. It's been so many times I done been through things, and I literally, if I would have told my side of the story, none of you niggas would have had a shot. If I would have told my side of the story, y'all all would have been done. Y'all all would have been under the jail. I never told my side of the story because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And I pray, what I do for my enemies, I pray for their mercy, because half the time I've been learning since 2020. This is what I learned since 2020. I've been learning that the same pit they dig for you is the same pit that they fall in.
They fall in.
When Joseph's brothers threw him in the pit, they didn't know that man was a king. They threw him in the pit and left him for dead. But God said, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And he took what the enemy used for bad and turned it into good. King and gave him a kingdomship. And what I'm saying is, this is not to separate. In the last days, God's going to separate the goats from the lambs. But it's not saying to separate it because we still got time. I'm not saying it to separate like I'm better than anybody or we better than anybody. But what I'm saying it is, there is a chance to turn it around. Stop being excuse me, I ain't even going to do it. Stop being a F-boy. I'm trying to stop cursing, but stop being that person. Stop being that person that, like, stop idolizing yourself, narcissist. That's what you're doing. You idolizing yourself.
I just said something the other day. Ego and pride killing a lot of y'all. Just ego and pride. And I ain't never seen ego and pride bring nobody back from the dead or get nobody rich.
And it make you look stupid.
And it just make you look so, because at the end of the day, when you do that, it's funny, right? Y'all do all that just to tell me I'm trying to do something you don't. That's all you had to say.
Like,
that's all you had to say. And maybe something could have been taught to y'all, but y'all rather sit there. Pride and ego had you telling you will create a perception of me that I ain't even create or have, but they ain't even me.
And that's the sad part.
That's the sad part. And then act it out.
We none of us are. A lot of us are like, we don't want to be students.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we want to be it's like what was the old saying? It's a whole bunch of chiefs, no Indians.
Everybody want to be the chief, no Indians.
But I think anybody that's in a chief position has been an Indian at some point.
Had to be.
Even for me, I'm still an Indian in an active service.
How can you lead something you have no clue about?
You got to learn. You got to be discipleship, stewardship, like learning about.
Remind me of the movie 300. He knew everybody that was in that 300. He knew everybody by their name. This is what I'm saying. When you could bring 300 people to help stop armies, and you know everybody's name. This person here, he got his son with him. This family for real. This is what we talking about, like family. Like she said, if you know, you supposed to know truly who you around and who you got in your circles and who supposed to be there, who not. And when you don't know, God will most definitely tax you and separate. And sometimes he'll hurt you to get them out of there.
Yes, come on. That's a word right there.
He'll hurt you to get you out of there. That's when he says vengeance is mine. Don't always mean that it's about the enemy.
Yes.
That vengeance might be you wasn't paying attention 3-6 months ago. Yes. So now, boom. I'm going to take 3 months out your life for you to sit there in your little sorrow and think about, was you controlling it or was it me?
Yes. And sometimes, I think us as people, we always try to take a lifetime. Like we use our assignment to take as a lifetime. And I think we have, like, as humans, we have this idolization of control and not thinking that we possess someone else. Right. And that's not the case. When we're not possession of anything, not even ourselves. Not even ourselves. Possession. So like it's so wild because even for me, I have to sing like once you my nigga, you always my nigga.
I know that's right.
That's how I used to.
That's how I think. Listen.
But then I had a heart change. Yeah. I had a heart posture, and it was like, you're not mine. Anything can happen today or tomorrow. You can go.
I got married and it went left 3-4 times prior to getting a divorce, and it let you know, like, even God was letting me know, not to cut you off. Even God was letting me know, like, you could put a ring on somebody's finger. You can even just say, right, if you love. I never was in love before, so say if you love somebody more than you start loving yourself. I stopped praying on my own. I would pray with her. So when me and her would pray together, God, like, all right, nigga, I ain't seen you personally in there, like, like you done fell in love to the point you walking with, just like she became the God. You serving her. Okay, I allowed you to serve her, but you're not gonna serve her and not come back and talk to me and he started slicing that thing up like a Chinese cake. True. And took me to some places, but it made me really showed some things. Like I say, everything that's in the dark will come to the light. Sometimes he gotta put you in the light for you to see the dark. Because when you in the dark, when is the light ever gonna come on if somebody got you harboring in that darkness?
That's true. The light comes on within, and it's the light comes on with God. Because I've been a lot of my moments. A lot of people look at different things, but a lot of my moments I was in the dark, and a lot of people didn't see that. Right. A lot of people didn't see those moments where I was in the dark, but the lights were on, and it was blinding, and it's like everybody could see your power before you could almost.
It's like, yo, ain't that crazy? Like, ain't that scary? Yo, you talking about? It's scary you say that because I've been through that plenty of times.
It ain't scary when you aware of it.
Yeah, when I wasn't.
When
that's
you
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
aware, then you like, I don't know what's going on. You like social anxiety to the max. Like,
I'm waking up crying and like tearing up in my sleep. I'm like, damn, people. I'm like, what is going on? If that's what it feels like to make it overnight, or say somebody you just make it overnight. Man, I wouldn't want to send nobody. That's like going to prison and they talking about take strip and take squat, and it's like somebody running you through the ringer.
Yeah. I'm so happy that we're getting all of this off of our chest. I think like last year I had ran for Miss New Jersey USA. Okay. Right, and so I was a state finalist for that, and like
congratulations on that too.
Thank you.
You was killing it.
Thank you, but I just did that for my womanhood. I didn't go in there expecting to win. I was praying like I needed some new friends, some friends that had things going on, some friends that I can be inspired by. Because all these chicks that was around me, they wasn't inspiring me. They was hating on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They was jealous. Like I needed people that can, like they say, show me who your friends are.
Yeah,
I show you who you're gonna be.
There you go.
And so, like, I wanted to be around women that inspired me. And I think with this, it almost felt like a sorority of women. And like, we literally call each other pageant sisters. And it was like over 100-something women ran. The winner, Jabilla, she won. She was one of the fewer female pilots. Homegirl Ivy Harrington, she won this year. So like, and eventually I'll go back and run again.
Right.
But I'm glad that we got to put all of this off of our chest, because when you see all of these women coming to the table and they all coming with the issue that they want solved. But I feel like as humans, I feel like we all have an issue that we need to solve.
Yeah, true that.
And so, and I think once we start getting honest about the conversation, I think once we start being honest about not looking at somebody with an agenda, like, what can you do for me?
Right.
How can I get something from this person? But also genuinely getting to notice, like, I feel like if someone comes into your life and if they're not helping to solve a problem, or if they're not being a helpmate, or if they're not coming to support, then it's like kind of like you dead weight.
You dead weight.
You dead weight, and there's no point for you. I'm kind of like delaying my own success.
Real talk.
So, and they don't got nothing to do with like the tangible things. I'm just talking about, can I go to you when the world feel a little heavy and I need to get something off my mind? Can I go to you with needing advice, and you giving me advice that really genuinely means well to not only me, but also if you were to look at yourself in the mirror, you telling me what you would tell yourself.
Exactly.
And being real about your struggles. So many people are like, oh, I'm fine. Because it's a form of comparison and jealousy.
Exactly.
I don't.
Knowing you're not fine.
I don't do that.
I don't either. I hate it. I hate a lot of, me growing up, everybody was like, you talk too much. I'd be like, y'all don't talk enough. It was my favorite line, like, because y'all not talking, but then y'all in the room gritting. You're gritting. You just say actions speak louder than words. Y'all all in here, y'all ain't say a word, but everybody looks like y'all ready to kill each other. That's the problem. But all y'all had to do is say, it's funny, when I first went to prison, 2 days before Father's Day, on a Friday the 13th, that Sunday was Father's Day. I never forget it. See, they opened up the drawer, I come out the cell, and my spirit just said, say Happy Father's Day. Because I'm so used to being home for Father's Day, I've never been in prison on this scale in my life. I'm like, for something I ain't even do, so I'm in there steaming, I'm mad, I'm in my head like, God, what did I do? Where did I make them? I'm going through my head trying to figure out, where did I mess up at? With who? I can't find nobody. I'm just all over the place. But I come out and say Happy Father's Day. You know how many brothers turned around and was like, they wasn't being in line. They just turned around and was like, it's Father's Day?
Yeah.
Bro, it's Father's Day. Me saying that gave me a covering, not even knowing it. Yo, good looking, bro. They don't even know these dudes. They like, yo, I'm gonna call my mom. My mom did everything for me. Now I gotta call my mom. And I'm like, one chain reaction, just coming out and just being open. Yo, Happy Father's Day, fellas. I'm in prison. I ain't really was caring about nobody at the time. Like, my mom was I was outside. I was having an out of body experience too. So it was like my body was moving, but my conscience was on the outside. But I still had a nerve to say Happy Father's Day, because I wish I was home. I would have been home receiving some love from my daughter or whatever. And it was just like crazy how that got me through prison. Just saying 1-2 words, Happy Father's Day. A couple words.
I think that I don't want, when people say, oh yeah, you talk too much, I don't want you to take that as a bad thing. I was like, the Spirit had revealed to me, like, open your mouth.
Right.
That's like the Spirit had to tell me at some point. But you gotta realize too, a lot of people are so desensitized. Again, me going to Hawaii really let me remember, like, a lot of people are not in touch with their humanity.
They really not.
That's the issue. I just want everybody to go home and look at yourself.
But I just say to you, what did I just say to you this last night or this morning? I said when I said go look at yourself in the mirror. I said, I just told my daughter this yesterday, like it was last night or this morning or yesterday. I said, we quick to go tell somebody else what to do or prejudge them without asking anything. You have your own perception, but go in the mirror and look at yourself. Tell yourself some of the things that you tell other people and see how it make you feel looking back at your reflection at yourself. Didn't I say that to you, Stan?
then it's like, like I think, like, what do I want to say? I feel like I think people get used to hearing the sound of their own voice, that when others speak, they don't listen. I think that, and guess what? You learn so much when you listen, and that's Bible. You learn so much when you listen, but then also, but God told me, I'm an excellent listener. Yep. But God told me, like, open your mouth. Open your mouth. Because it's something that's on your mouth that somebody needs to hear. Yep. So don't let that dim your light. Never. Keep on talking to the people. Keep on talking now. Okay, and not everybody want to talk. We get that. But even then, I decided I'm not going to dim my light no more. I'm not going to make myself feel small. No, all y'all going to get all of me. And if you don't like it, you ain't got to be around it. However, I don't want. Again, I had to be aware. I used to stop talking. That's what I'm saying. People didn't like to hear me. Me too. I used to be. I felt like a mute. Like they didn't like to hear me talk. Yep. So because they like, oh, me a preacher. Yeah, but like preacher. Oh, hey, I'm wrong. He preaching. They don't like to hear me talk. So it's like, and it's not because I'm not saying something of importance. They just don't like me. Yeah, they don't like the anointing that's on me. Yeah. No offense, I don't. But see, that's just because they're not comfortable with their own light. So if that be the case, I'm not finna make myself feel small any longer. Because then me being quiet to myself is not only disrespecting myself, it's not displaying, it's not showing care for other people. Because it was times where I was talking, I'm like, all right, let me be quiet. No, they're like, no, keep going. Like, you inspiring people, like, keep going. But then I realized, like, after a while, so many people, but I'll be the type, like, if you don't listen, I stop talking. Period. Me too. That I'd rather save it for whatever. But in the midst of that, I don't want that or the world to make you feel like, well, I gotta stop talking because they uncomfortable. Yeah. Nah. People used to have me do that. That's why I say it's funny because at this stage in my life, we can't have that go on no more. It's too long. It's over 20, 30 years. We got to cut those people off that want to keep you trapped into something that they used to treat you or say to you 20, 30, 15 years ago. It's like, if y'all ain't grow up and I grew up, so be it. But somebody gotta grow. I don't even feel like I gotta cut nobody off. They gonna fall by the way. That's what I'm saying. They gonna want to leave anyway because it's so much. They can't do nothing no more. They don't have that, like you say, they don't have that influence over. People wear masks. People wear masks. Half the time a mask be going on maybe for a mask be going for a couple years, but like somebody ain't truly there for you, like you're gonna start seeing them real faces slip underneath the mask, as real faces slipping underneath them flattering words. You're gonna start to see that with people. And so with me saying that, eventually it's gonna get worse and worse. They'll try to do things that sabotage you. Eventually it's gonna get worse, and then eventually they'll fall off, and then that word. But that just come with being chosen. That just come with being chosen. That come with being chosen. And I only know, and now I'm gonna keep it real. Only the chosen. My 45 years on this earth. The only people that I ever heard say the word sabotage is the chosen ones. Most people be like, sabotage. They don't even see, you don't even hear it. But you'll hear it come out of our mouths. Why? Because we didn't have people around us trying to actually literally do that. Literally. No other word. Sabotage. They be trying to, that's how I know people be knowing about it. They just don't use the word so they can do it. But that exists. And a lot of people sabotage coming with just not showing up for you. That too. They think because they don't have your support or you don't have their support that it's not going to happen. Like, dang, I was doing this when I ain't had nothing. I've been doing this since I ain't had nothing. Like people don't make shake of nothing. Like make shake of nothing that God got for me. Because what God got for you is going to be for you. And that's another thing too. So, a lot of times people be like, why you ain't moving for me? I just said it a minute ago. God ain't tell me to. I get the cosign from him. Yeah, I'm a little opposite of that. I just be moving for anybody, and God was like, "Chill out." That's what I'm saying. I was showing up there. I'm talking about, especially when I was driving. Oh, and I was Ubering. So you in there, I'm driving 12 hours a day. Like, where you at? Pulling up. I'm outside. I couldn't stop. You know what he did? Car accident. You gonna sit your behind down. Yeah. Because one thing about us Aries, we won't stop. Like. We don't stop. God'll make things. Sometimes God will sit you down, especially if he got something to say to you. Like he'll sit you down, You got to be mindful of the voices and the people that say things to you and prophesy over your life. And you have to, like, you know, sometimes God, a lot of times you go to jail and you ain't do nothing wrong or whatever. You know, a lot of that be, you know, you never know what's in store. Like, God might have been saving you for something.
My whole, listen, well, first of all, going there, I didn't know I was going to lose my grandma 2 days in. So one of the I never forget this lady. Her name was Miss Peacock. She walked to me. She said, "You don't think she just? I think she seen a. You know, a God sent an anointing on somebody else. Mm-hmm. She seen that she dealt with me through the kindred spirit. She didn't deal with me through the flesh. Every time she laid her eyes on me, I looked at her and I could tell she was talking. She was like, because she told me, you don't belong here. For whatever reason, God got you here. You gotta figure that out. Until you figure it out, you ain't getting out." And I was like, "What?"
That was a little deep.
She went deep.
That was a little deep.
But she was never lying. It wasn't, and you know what that was basically, because I was fighting with it. I thought that, again, what you say, the generational curses. The first thing they teach you, God did it. So that my flesh kicked in, and I didn't know how vicious your flesh could be into this situation. My flesh kicked in and said, "God, I'm God. Why you put me here?" God didn't put me there. Mm-hmm. The evils did.
Mm-hmm. Or just sometimes just the overlooking things or the consequences of not.
There you go. Now opening your eyes and listening to the. There you go. There you go. Because he was talking to me through my spirit. But I kept trying to thinking that I can use my flesh to. I got it, God. I'm gonna change this. God, like, you can't change this person. I can't change the person. So now what's happened? The more I let you play with this person, they changing you. They changing you. Dang. You trying to change them, they changing you. Snatch me right up out of it.
I feel like you can't change nobody anyway. I feel like you can only change yourself.
Right.
I feel like
I used to try to inspire people so much. Because
you can inspire them.
But this is the thing. I got told maybe 2-3 months ago, "Oh, well, we never looked at y'all like y'all was real artists." I said, and it dawned. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "So you telling me all of us independent artists, we struggle the way we struggle because y'all, nobody around us look at us like we real? What's a real artist?" It blew my mind. I said, "Damn, maybe that's." I said, "Whew, this is why we all get hated on, because none of y'all sitting around looking at us like." So if I brought Chris Brown over here, what makes him a real artist? So I ain't a real artist unless I sign a contract to somebody, and y'all don't even know what the contracts be about, but you gonna treat me like a real artist because I got the deal.
A lot of people just got opinions.
It's crazy.
You can't listen to.
I didn't listen to it, but it was just funny. I was just like,
I know, it's just something like, but that was just a moment of a discouragement, and the people didn't even know what they were doing. That's why a lot of times the common words that I use right now is, "Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Yeah. Like, and that's just the truth. Yeah. Like, and then with me, it was just like I literally genuinely forgave people, and guess what? I started to believe in myself. Mm-hmm. Like, if ain't nobody gonna believe in you like you can believe in you.
I'm proud of you.
Ain't nobody gonna believe in you like you can like
you are. And I'm gonna keep it real. You're fine. You. I mean, you. They there, not all. Mm-hmm. But like I say, because believe me, if I'm with you, you probably tell me, "Rome, get Rome out of here. He the mascot. Get this stuff, come to the back, cause he gonna have me jumping in the crowd, surfing, because that's just that. Because again, I fall in love with action. I'm watching you do it. It don't get no bigger than that to me. You know how much energy I had to build up when I first stepped in front of a crowd and somebody passed me a microphone and I'm like, "All right, this ain't freestyle. I gotta go ahead and rap the song. This ain't the block. This ain't the corner. This ain't the school lot. This is 20, 30 people out, 30,000 people out there, 100, 200, 300 people out there." You like, I can't fuck up. I can't mess up. Mm-hmm. I know they want me to mess up. They like, he can rap there. He gonna forget his. So you know that challenge alone. That's why when I see people do it, I be like, "Yo, I love it. I fall in love with that so much. I'm driven off of that. I be like, wow, I'm going high five. You done? You got some more? Yeah. Let's get it, man. Like that's just me. I don't know what. Like I say, when I was a kid, I didn't have a voice. You know, my grandma I was raised in a house where it was spoken to, stay in a child's place.
I think that's a lot of us that came up in that era.
You know,
that's a lot of us.
Yeah, so it was like when I started rapping, my God-given gift was art. I could draw, so I could draw anything I see. I was painting. I did all that. it was like when I was able to put those words together, people listen to the raps before they would listen to me talk. I would say the same thing talking. They were like, "What? Damn. I'm rapping," and they like, "What you say? Run that joint back." I'm like, "Y'all listening?"
I think it's important that as an artist, for all the artists out there, I just think it's really important. And anybody, I don't care what you're trying to do. If you got a dream, I think it's important for you to know that mistakes are supposed to happen.
Yep.
I think mistakes are supposed to happen. I also believe that those difficulties make you stronger.
Facts.
Your difficulties is your training moments. I promise you they are. Those trials and that suffering don't compare to the joy that comes in the morning. As long as you stay focused on God and yourself and the betterment of you. And I'm hoping that on everybody. I'm hoping everybody realize that this fame stuff is just
it's like smoking, a cliche. Yeah, it's a
smoking mirrors, and none of it really matters.
It don't.
None of it really matters. It's about the impact that you're making through your music. Who are you helping? Not only that, are you telling a story? Are you telling people what you've been through? Are you helping somebody relate to your pain? Are you helping somebody get out of those hard times with enjoyment? Or are you just doing it for the clout and doing it for the recognition? Because after, I'm gonna tell you, for somebody who had it, somebody who lost it, and somebody who's on the road getting it back again, I'm telling you what it is. None of it matters. Do it because you love to do it.
She is in her. It's not on it. It's in her.
Do it because you love to do it. Do it because it's just a part of who you are, with or without the money, with or without the recognition. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to do nothing that ain't making me money. But also, if you in something, it's your job. It's your responsibility to do your studies on it. Do your research. Also, grow and evolve with the changes that happens in your dream industry. Also, having the resilience through the difficulty. Because I don't believe if you don't want the resilience, if you don't want the difficulty, I don't believe that you really want it. I don't believe that you really love it. You want things to come to you easily, but you got to realize that that's a part of the process, and nobody likes the pain and nobody likes the difficulty. We want things to come easy for us. Even though some of us make it look easy, it's never easy. But some of us love it so much. Some of us love it so much that no matter what people say, no matter what it looks like, we're going to constantly do it because it's something that's not fake. It's something that's a part of us. So, and the world going to catch up. Like, let the world going to catch up. Stop. Don't put a timing on God's timing. God can do amazing things, but you just got to love to do it. Oh, I'm going to make it here. I'm going to make it to the industry. That industry is burning down. burning down. The best thing for you to do is, for me personally, you could get signed, cool, but that industry is burning down. Best thing for you to do is be independent. A lot of people ain't just sticking to music. That's why you see a bunch of artists going into makeup and going into Beyonce, going into Sacred, her hair care, Rihanna going into Fenty. Like it's all smoking mirrors. You're not going to be young forever. You're not going to have all of these things. You grow older, so you got to grow with what life gives you. And so I'm just saying this to the dreamers that's out there, those hard times, they're built to make you, they're built to build you up stronger. Without those hard times, the good times wouldn't be worth it. Nobody wants a hard time, no. But in the moments where people don't believe in you, when people believe in you, sometimes you get lackadaisy, But when people don't believe in you, it brings the dog out you. It brings the dog out you, and it makes you want to go and go harder. So that's what I'm going to suggest to all of y'all that's out there listening, all my dreamers, everybody that got a dream. Stop looking at what somebody else doing and thinking that's how you got to do it. There's some people out there that's just happy with their life, making their money and staying out the way. There's some people that don't even show their face in the music industry, but they got hits. You never even know. So it's but be careful of what you are spending your energy on, because you could be so busy in front of the camera that you ain't doing the work behind the camera. And then that's where you get then you're gonna be depending on, you gonna get to this big point, depending on so many people. Everybody, I've been there. People left me for dead. Never didn't worry about me, and I had to build myself back up. And now that I'm here, it's like, okay,
leave us on the sidewalk.
And now that I'm here, I'm putting in the work for myself, doing it for myself in hopes to help impact other people. But I'm also not depending on anybody else to direct and drive my dreams. drive your own dreams, and that's on period. And speaking of driving on your dreams, make sure y'all go to my Instagram page at Sparkle Girl A, SPARKLE GIRLA. Click the link in my bio. Everything is there. My movies, everything. And then also, I need y'all to go in my link in my bio. I'm in this competition with sponsored by Orbit app and Timberland for Timberland to executive produce one of my albums. So, and I've done a single with Timberland back in the day, remix, but I want him to executive produce my whole album. So make sure you go do that right now. I'm currently making my way up, and I'm feeling like it's a good thing I might win. And so make sure y'all do that. So go to Orbit app, Asia Sparks. Make sure y'all vote for my single, That Girl. While I'm sitting here talking about dreams, That Girl on Apple Music. We Outside on Apple Music. She Ain't Me on Apple Music. And make sure you go check out my films. Tubi. We got Dirty Game. I got WeTV and UPMC. Double Cross season 3, episode 2. And make sure y'all go check out. It's a lot of stuff. Cobwebs on Tubi, End of the Line on Tubi. Make sure y'all go check that out too, because I'm here. I'm promoting myself. I'm back outside.
We back outside, man.
Back outside, and
it's one of my favorite records too.
Thank you. Back outside.
I know the vibes, man. I love you, sis.
Man,
thank you for coming.
This was an amazing interview. I want to give you your flowers, your virtual flowers right here.
Baby.
Keep talking to the people too.
I got you.
Keep talking to the people, because that's amazing.
Me and you we gonna get this shit together. Like whatever she need, I'm backing her up. This platform is open for us anytime she want to come promote whatever she want to do. She want to come be a host. She even want to come do her own show with some dope females. The platform is open. Sis, anything you need from me, Rome here, and I love you, baby.
Love you. We love y'all so much. Spark up.
The vibes, man. Spark up, man. It's all love, man. Entrepreneur talk. We